Hey guys, and welcome into another music reaction. I am so sorry we are not back with another Lana reaction. All the Lana stands out there, don't worry, Ultraviolence is coming probably mid-July. But today is July 7th, and I need to dedicate this week of my life to Miss Taylor Swift. We are getting her third re-record album today, Speak Now, Taylor's version. I am so excited to get into it. I've been a Taylor Swift fan since 2011, I believe, thanks to my best friend who introduced me to her, and it was between her Speak Now and Red era. And so when I first became a fan of hers, I just had 3 albums to listen to, and Speak Now was by far my favorite at the time, and it still is my favorite out of those first 3. So I am so excited to get into the reaction today and hear what these songs sound like with her matured voice, and of course also listen to the vault tracks. Should I try to do like the Speak Now pose for the thumbnail? Hold on, you guys. Should I try? Guys, I tried. I just tried to do the Speak Now pose. And if it's on the thumbnail, then that means it went well. And if it's not, it was embarrassing. All right, with that being said, if you would like to see my full reaction to this album, that is available below on my Patreon. Also a great place to get bonus content from me and just support the channel and me if you feel so obliged. But if not, that's totally cool. And let's get into the edited reaction here on YouTube. Alright, so we have 16 songs that are re-releases, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 vault tracks. Just for a little fun game, I love to claim songs before listening to them. So based on these titles of from the vault tracks, I'm going to go ahead and claim When Emma Falls in Love. I'm really intrigued by that title and I'm excited to hear it, but I cannot skip ahead. I don't get to listen to the vault tracks yet because we have the re-records to listen to first. And we're starting off with Mine. I definitely had my moment with Mine. There's some amazing lyrics in this. It's not one that I listen to a lot now, but again, I'm going into this re-record ready for anything to change, like hearing it in a new light with new production and her new vocals. Who knows what songs are going to be added back into like my current playlists. So let's go ahead and listen to Mine. Why am I already excited? Why am I already excited?
You were in college working part-time, waiting tables. I was a flight risk with a fear of falling, wondering why we bother with love if it never lasts. Yes, yes, I can see it now.
We're listening to Speak Now, Taylor's version right now. Production is so similar. There's some songs, well, I feel like Girl at Home on Red, Taylor's version is probably like the most dramatic change in production. It's like complete production makeover for that song. A lot of her re-records so far have been like very, they try to stick to the original as much as possible with some minimal production changes, and what's more noticeable to us, the fans, I think, is just how her voice sounds and how she delivers the lines. And the one that stuck out to me was when she said, "As we're lying on the couch." I don't know, like her little baby voice, it just sounded different. It all sounds different compared to her baby voice, but "As we're lying on the couch" sounded very different. But oh my god, this is such a cute song. And I believe it's a song of her like thinking about what could be and what a relationship could be if the person decided to stay instead of, you know, it ending in tragedy that she is very used to at this point in her life. And I remember when I was younger, the line, "I was a flight risk with a fear of falling, wondering why we bother with love if it never lasts." I was such a little emo girl, but like in a Taylor Swift type of way when I was younger. And that line really hit me. It still hits me. Where is my lasting love? All right, here we go.
You remember we were sitting there by the water. You put your arm around me for the first time. You made a rebel of a careless man's careful daughter. You are the best thing that's ever been mine.
That sounded spot on to the original. And then I also just have to say, "You made a rebel of a careless man's careful daughter" is probably like the best lyric that's ever been written, ever.
You learn my secrets and you figure out why I'm guarded. You say we'll never make my parents' mistakes.
I love that she kept that line delivery the same, because one of my favorite things about the original song is like the line delivery of that lyric where her voice wavers a little bit. You say we'll never make my parents' mistakes, like you can feel the vulnerability there, and she did the same thing, of course she did, where her voice gets lower and shakier and vulnerable in that moment. Love that. Am I gonna cry? I'm so happy. It's so good. What a promising start to the re-records, which of course I'm not like worried. This is such a hard undertaking. Like, I don't know if people understand, especially like within the fandom, because literally Taylor Swift could release anything at all and we'd be like, this is the greatest thing we've ever heard. But honestly, like, re-recording such loved songs is so like risky and scary because it's like, well, how are we gonna beat the magic that was in that? And it's not really about beating the magic, and of course we all know why these re-records are happening, and that is what the point is. But this is just one of those songs where it was just perfectly, I don't know, perfectly re-recorded in my opinion. It is so honest to the original, and the production and her vocals, like she inflects her voice the same way that she did on the original, but her voice is more mature and it just sounds stronger. Like I prefer, it's very like minimal changes, but I do actually prefer this version to the other version, because especially in a song that's talking about like more grown-up things, it makes sense to hear it in a more grown-up voice. I'm really interested to see a song like Better Than Revenge, which we'll get into that and what else I'm interested in hearing about that song. But a song like Better Than Revenge is very much from a teen angst perspective, and hearing it in a grown-up woman's voice I think is just going to be really interesting to hear, but we'll get to that when we get to it. Next up is my stan song of Speak Now. It's Sparks Fly. Here we go. Oh my god, I'm nervous because I love Sparks Fly so much, and so much of the reason why I love Sparks Fly is because of the way little baby Taylor, her voice sounds and the way she sings it. And so here we go. I'm nervous, but I'm excited. Oh, the little whoa! I love that. She's even taking her breaths in the same way. I like that. Ooh, that's different. That is really different. That's really different. If you're a Swiftie, this is the most different that we've strayed so far in the first 1.5 songs. The second verse is one of my favorite moments of the song because of the vocal delivery in the original. And I just love the way that Baby Taylor gives the vocal delivery in the original for this part specifically. And I do prefer the original just in these 2 lines, like the way little baby Taylor sings it, but we'll keep going, we keep going. I'm on my guard for the rest of the world, but with you, I know it's no good. Okay, so you guys, as far as the second verse goes of this song, I do prefer the original, and it's just like a personal preference thing. I don't know how little baby Taylor did it, but the way that her voice flicks up on You're a Bad Idea in the original, and the way that her voice here on the Taylor's version, when she says, I know it's no good, she says it very smoothly, whereas in the original, it's delivered more like shakily. I don't know how. Guys, I'm not a vocal professional. There's some of like the smoothness that's coming along in Taylor's matured voice that is like maybe like more vocally correct for that second verse, but something about the second verse in the original sticks with me. Okay, so the bridge, incredible. Taylor's version, incredible. I think I prefer her mature voice for the bridge. This part where she slows down and it strips back a bit and she goes, kiss me on the sidewalk, take away the pain. Listen, there's a part in the original where her voice cracks a little bit on take away the pain. I can't do it because I'm not a singer, but she delivers it more like strong and smooth in this one, and I miss the little baby voice crack. But let's finish off the song.
Oh, baby, smile, and the sparks fly.
What a song. I just love Sparks Fly. It just encapsulates like will they won't they phase so perfectly. It's a perfect song. It's a perfect song. Are you kidding? You're the kind of reckless that should send me running, but I kind of know that I won't get far. And like the House of Cards metaphor, drop everything now and meet me in the pouring rain is like that's who Taylor Swift is, especially baby Taylor Swift, like romanticizing everything. My mind forgets to remind me you're a bad idea. Again, very baby Taylor Swift. All like the bad ideas, she's like, let me see what's going on here. All right, back to December, the Taylor Lautner song, as we all know. I think that this is going to be a pretty promising track for Taylor's version. I think it's going to sound really well with her matured voice. Oh my god. Usually you can tell like a little bit of a slight change in the production when you listen to the songs, but this sounds exactly the same production-wise.
How's life? Tell me, how's your family? I haven't seen them in a while.
Even her voice sounds the exact same. There's some little things, right, obviously, but her matured voice goes really well with this one.
Because the last time you saw me is still...
That was different. That was different. Hold on, I wasn't ready. The OG is like, because the last time, and this time she goes, but the last time. she added a little bit of country twang on the word last.
Because the last time
Ooh.
you saw me is still burned in the back of your mind.
Ooh. Okay, and the way that she said the back of your mind, she added more emphasis on it. Okay.
So this is me swallowing my pride, standing in front of you, saying I'm sorry for that night. And I go back to December all the time. It turns out freedom ain't nothing but missing you, wishing I'd realized what I had when you were mine. I miss your dancing, your sweet smiles, oh good to me, so right.
Ooh, yes.
Now you held me in your arms that September night, the first time you ever saw me cry. Maybe this is wishful thinking, probably mindless dreaming, but if we loved again, I swear I'd love you right. The chain is on your door, I understand,
Oh.
but this is me.
And she's still managed to get that heartbroken vulnerability in her voice, even though it's not like fresh in her life anymore, the situation. So can you like how does she do this? How does she do this? This is the first song so far where like the emotions and the way the inflection of her vocals and the way that she sings it feels more raw to me than the original, despite the fact that obviously this is a situation that she's singing about that like doesn't affect her in the slightest anymore, I'm sure. There was a line here, it turns out freedom ain't nothing. She put emphasis on nothing, like with almost like anger, like, oh, how did I not realize this? I don't know. I feel like the reflection, obviously this song is a reflective song already. Like in the past, she was reflecting on a relationship rather than in the middle of it and reflecting on her regrets. And I feel like somehow older Taylor is reflecting on this moment and this situation in her life with even more like, oh, what was I thinking? That's what I'm getting from her vocals. And it's really cool to hear it that way. Like, I didn't know that this song could get better, but this is the first song where it's like, with mine, it was like the perfect carryover from the OG. Like, they're on an equal playing field to me. Sparks Fly, there's some things from the OG where I do miss it. But Back to December, this is one where I'm like, wow, like I much, much, much prefer Taylor's version in every aspect to the original somehow. Next up is the title track, Speak Now, which, to be completely honest, has never been my favorite. I think I really loved it when I was like in my discovering Taylor era. I really actually liked this song, but as I've grown up, I haven't loved the song as much. I don't really listen to it. There's like some lyrics in it where I'm like, oh, they're not my favorite. So I'm interested to see if I think any differently of it now as it's Taylor's version.
I am not the kind of girl who should be rudely barging in on a white veil occasion, but you are not the kind of boy who should be marrying the wrong girl. All dressed in pastel and she is yelling at a bridesmaid somewhere back inside a room wearing a gown shaped like a pastry.
It's so funny. Like the lyrics are so funny, but they're just not my favorite. Like the concept of the song is about a girl who's like going to stop a wedding and speak up when the preacher says, "Speak now or forever hold your peace," about these two people that are getting together. And she stops the wedding, is like, "No, you belong with me." She has her "You belong with me" era. I think like the concept is fun, but what happened to the rhyme? I don't know why I could never get past these lyrics. So her snotty little family all dressed in pastel, and she's yelling at a bridesmaid somewhere back inside a room wearing a gown shaped like a pastry. Where did the rhyme go?
I lose myself in a daydream where I stand and say,
I like the way she's saying daydream.
don't wait or say a single vow. You need to hear me out. And they said, speak now.
I do love that hook. Is that what you call a hook? I love that moment, and I think that this song so perfectly builds tension.
And the organ starts to play a song that sounds like a death march, and I am hiding in the
Girl, get out of the curtain. What are you doing?
It seems
It's so
that I was
funny.
uninvited by your lovely bride to be.
She's hiding in the curtains, please.
Like a pageant queen.
Oh, with the layered vocals there.
But I know
Ooh, I'm excited to hear this.
you wish it was me. You wish it was me, don't you? Don't say yes, run away now. I'll meet you in your
Ooh,
house
those background vocals.
back door.
She somehow is making her voice sound very young in this song. The way she's singing somehow, I don't know. She like sounds like the old Taylor in it.
There's a silence, there's my last chance. I stand up with shaking hands, all eyes.
Ooh. Oh, that was different. Hold on.
I stand up with shaking hands, all eyes.
The way she said eyes.
I am not the kind of girl who
Oh, she can do the little
should be
giggle. There's a
barging
giggle
in
coming up.
on a white veil occasion, but you are not the kind of boy
You better do it. You better.
who should be marrying the wrong girl. So don't say you need to hear me out.
Ooh, said speak now. Interesting. That's different, right? I think in the original it still is carrying on with "and they said speak now," but here it changes to "said speak now." Super, super, super minimal lyric change, like incredibly, but it's the first one I noticed.
I'll meet you in and out of my text at the back door.
Back door. I like that.
I didn't say my vows, so glad you were around when they said speak now.
It's a fun song. No one can deny that it's a fun song. It's funny. I have to obviously I'm going to be listening to this album on repeat, especially because I have a long drive today. So I'm literally just going to be listening to Born to Die in Paradise by Lana and Speak Now, Taylor's version by Taylor. And so we'll see as I do my listens of this album as Taylor's version, if Speak Now is just one that sneaks its way back up on me. Oh God. Next up is Dear John. It's one of those songs where it's heartbreaking listening to it as the little 20-year-old recording the song about what she went through, but the situation that she was in, I can only imagine, came more and more into focus for her as she grew older, as many of those types of relationships do. Like, you suddenly hit the age that the person was who was in this power play relationship with you, and you're like, whoa, I would never date someone that young, and it all kind of hits you in a different way. And I don't know, I wonder if we're gonna get, you know how I said in Back to December, she seemed to be her vocals changed to portray a new emotion, like anger at her past self, like how could I have done this and acted this way? And you can hear, even though like all the lyrics are the same, you can hear in her vocal inflection how her feelings about it may have strengthened or changed in any way. So that's what I'm most interested in hearing about this song and of her version. Like, I wonder if her vocals are going to convey more anger. I feel like if I cried all during this album reaction, it's either going to be on Dear John and or Long Live. So here comes our first moment of truth. Here we go. Dear John. Love that sound.
Long were the nights when my days once revolved around you, counting my footsteps, praying the floor won't fall through again. But I swore I was fine.
Right now, like she's matching her old self perfectly. Like she's delivering it the same exact way, same inflection. She's hitting the same notes in the same vulnerable, airy tones. Oh, this girl is gonna be the death of me.
And I lived in your chess game, but you changed the rules every day.
You know what I'm just fathoming right now is this line, you paint me a blue sky and go back and turn it to rain. It's interesting that she refers to rain in like its stereotypical sad elements, because a lot of this album and her past albums even, like a lot of young Taylor romanticized the rain a lot. And obviously Sparks Fly, she has the lyric, drop everything now, kiss me in the pouring rain. And her saying, you paint me a blue sky and go back and turn it to rain in a negative connotation. It's really interesting to me because it's like in Sparks Fly, she doesn't mind the rain. She just wants to be kissed in it. And she wants him to hold her and embrace her and kiss her and love her through the rain. And here is where she is acknowledging the fact that actually the rain was not something to be romanticized. I don't know.
And this song is to let you know why.
She sounds so beautiful. Her voice sounds so beautiful.
Dear John, don't you think I was too young to be messed with? The girl in the dress cried the whole way home. I should've known.
I'm gonna cry. Like the fact, I don't know. This song just gets me because like the fact that, I hate that young Taylor was like, I should have known. Like, no, you shouldn't have. He should have known. And by the end of the song, she turns it around on him and says, you should have known. But still, like the fact that she put anything on her in this situation is just sad to me.
And I look back and regret how I ignored when they said run as fast as you can. I should have known. You are an expert at sorry and keeping the lines blurry. Never impressed by me acing your tests. All the girls that you run dry have tried lifeless eyes 'cause you burn them out. I'm shining like fireworks over your sad empty town. Dear John, don't you think I was too young? You should've known.
We survived Dear John. The great war that is Dear John. I think that she stuck pretty faithfully to the original in that one, and it is still just as heartbreaking. And it's the hindsight of the situation, I think, that adds to the heartbreak. But vocally and production-wise, this was pretty much a copy of the OG, which I appreciate because it's a great song. Next up is Mean. I also had my moments with it when I was younger and I really liked it, and like now I don't listen to it as much. So let's see what it sounds like.
You, with your words like knives and swords and weapons that you use against me, you have knocked me off my feet again, got me feeling like a nothing. But you don't know what you don't know. Someday I'll be living in a big old city,
And she is.
and all you're ever gonna be is me.
You know what the best thing about this song is, like, the fact that everything she sings about comes to fruition. Like, she is big enough so no one can hit her, and she is the moment and the it girl in her 30s, which is like rare to see, unfortunately. And she's killing it. And I don't even remember the name of the guy who like said all these mean things that she's singing about.
You have pointed out my flaws again, as if I don't already see
I
them.
love that line, and I love that she adds a little extra umph in it. The production sounds slightly more simplistic in this one. I like it.
Talking over a football game with that same big loud opinion, but
I'm so happy she delivered the line the same in that part because I love it.
washed up and ranting about the same old bitter things. Drunk and grumbling on about how I can't sing, but all you are is me.
This part of the song is so funny to me. I love the pettiness here.
All you are is mean and a liar and pathetic and alone in life.
The way she sings like the worst insults ever in such a pretty voice.
Why you gotta be so mean?
Another one that's just like faithful to the original, and I'm not complaining. I like it. I like it a lot. Oh God. The Story of Us is next. Story of Us is like half a Stan song for me. I feel like my Stan song of this album is Sparks Fly, but I love The Story of Us so much. And I'm so excited to hear her. Like, my favorite part of The Story of Us is how she talks next chapter and the end, and has those little like talking moments. And I'm excited to hear her her do that now in Taylor's version.
I used to think one day we'd tell the story of us, how we met and the sparks flew instantly, and people would say they're the lucky ones.
Do you know what I'm thinking about? Just now when she says people would say they're the lucky ones. Her album Red, her next album after this, she has a song called The Lucky One. The song is about like fame being too much and not being worth it, and like getting out while you still have your money and your dignity. I think that's a line in it. She was asked about it, and her answer at that time was always that song was something that she didn't really feel in the moment, but she was afraid that one day she might, and she was hoping that she never would, and she was hoping she would always love and appreciate fame and what she has, and not see like the dark side and everything. But I wonder if she already kind of had those feelings, and The Lucky One was like a genuine representation of what was creeping up inside of her and her thoughts about what fame could be in the dark side, and maybe like her team like didn't want her to admit that because it would sound ungrateful, because she was still in her good girl era where she should like appreciate and love everything that is handed to her, which like it's a lot, and it is something to appreciate and love, but it doesn't mean that it can't be a double-sided coin. So I don't know, I think it's interesting that she mentions the lucky ones and how it ends in a tragedy in this song, and then we get a song called The Lucky One that's about tragedy of fame as well. And something about it just tells me that Red era Taylor was aware of that and not just fearing that maybe one day she would think that way. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts on that. That just came to me.
'Cause lately I don't even know what page you're on.
The metaphors of this song are perfect.
I don't know what to say since the twist of fate when it all broke down, and the story of us looks a lot like a tragedy now.
Let me hear it.
Next chapter.
I love when she talks in her songs, especially these re-records. It's so fun to hear.
But you held your pride like you should have held me.
Oh, her voice here, her voice like makes this song better now.
Why are we pretending this is nothing? I tell you I miss you, but I don't know how. I've never heard silence quite this loud. Now I'm standing, but the story of us might be ending soon. Now I'm standing alone
This part, I love this part. Ah. Ah, she kills it.
The end.
No, this is another one. This and back to, you know what? Let me finish a thought, first of all. This is another one where I much, much prefer, just even based on a first listen, this is so much better to me than the original. Her voice goes so well with it, and I'm in love. And I'm thinking at the end, usually when I do like album reactions, I rank the album. And I think what I'm going to do differently here is where I put the vault tracks, like the songs that I've not heard yet before. And then what I'm going to do for like the re-recorded tracks, I think I'm going to make 3 categories where it's like, based on a first listen, do I prefer the OG? Does it match the OG for me, or does it exceed the OG? I think that's how I'm going to rank the re-records. And of course, you know, like any ranking, that can change over time, but it'll be nice to just gauge where I'm at on a first listen, and this is definitely one where it exceeds the original for me. Okay, next up, I'm not gonna lie, it's not my favorite. This, Never Grow Up and Innocent are like the 2 songs on this that I don't really listen to the point where like I don't even know all the lyrics to it because I've not listened to it enough even when I was younger or older. So I'm interested to see if now that I am hearing Taylor's version, if Never Grow Up and then when we get to Innocent, if those songs are going to strike a chord with me in a way they didn't before. I'm not sure. Let's see.
Your little hands wrapped around my finger, and it's so quiet in the world tonight. To you, everything's funny. You got nothing to regret. Won't let no one break your heart, and no one will desert you. Just try to never grow up.
I'm not sure. I don't know the lore of this song, so I'm not sure if she's speaking to somebody specifically or if she's talking to her younger self. Wow. I feel like there's like a lot of parallels from this song to Would've, Could've, Should've, the bonus track on Midnights, which is about the situation with John Mayer that's also explored in Dear John. It just makes this song really heartbreaking because in Would've, Could've, Should've, she has the line, I regret you all the time. And in this song, she says, you got nothing to regret. I'd give all I have if you could stay like that. And then just the general message of the song of like, don't grow up. And then the lyric in Would've, Could've, Should've where she says, give me back my girlhood. It was mine first. I feel like this song, Never Grow Up, is like her singing to her lost girlhood and who she was before her girlhood was stolen from her, which is a lot. Yeah.
But don't make her drop you off around the block. Remember that she's getting older too. And don't lose the way that you dance around in your PJs getting ready for school. Oh, darling, don't you ever grow.
I wasn't expecting this one to make me emotional. Maybe this is why I've never really listened to it. It's too sad.
I just realized everything I have is someday gonna be gone.
Jeez.
So here I am in my new apartment in a big city. They just dropped me off. So I tucked myself in and turned my night.
Okay, so she is singing to herself, which I thought, you know, it's an easy interpretation, but there's confirmed.
Wish I'd never grown up. Oh, I don't wanna grow up. Wish I'd never grown up. I could still be little. Never grow up. Just never grow up.
Wow. I don't know if it's just because I'm older now or like knowing that she is, but like this message just hits different now in a way. I've not given this song a chance in a long time. I couldn't tell you the last time. I don't know if I've ever listened to the song fully through, to be honest. And now I understand why, because I don't want to cry. I think at the end, you know, when she switches it around and she makes it clear that she's talking to herself, and when she goes, never grow up, won't let no one break your heart, and even though you want to, please try to never grow. I think she, after what she had been through her first like real love and heartbreak, and grown up love and heartbreak, I guess. I think she just went into like a little shell and decided that she would protect herself or try to protect herself as best she could, and appreciated who she was and wanted to remember who she was and keep who she was with her as she got older. I don't know. Oh God, next up is Enchanted, which technically we've had Taylor's version every weekend almost on the Eras tour. I got to go. I went to see her in Chicago the night that she brought out Maren Morris, and she sang You All Over Me and I Don't Want to Live Forever. So yeah, I have witnessed Enchanted, Taylor's version. It is one of the most magical songs that I have ever had bless my ears. Let's take a listen to it again. With a little squeak. Love that, love that.
Your eyes whispered, have we met? Across the room, your silhouette starts to
Your eyes whispered, have we met? Are you kidding? Another one of my favorite lyrics.
Counter all your quick remarks, like passing notes in secrecy.
How do you come up with these lyrics?
Enchanting to meet you.
She's saying the word you differently. I feel like in the original I feel like before she was like, you, and now she's like, you. I don't know how to. I think I sound crazy. Her little meat was so cute.
And now I'm pacing back and forth, wishing you were at my door. I'd open up and you would say, hey, it was enchanting.
When I was in the OG track, the way that she says, hey, it was enchanting to meet you, I always thought I didn't know that there was a hey there. I just thought she was like, hey, it was. Like that whole part was just her saying it. But you can hear like her separate those two words a lot better in this version, where you can tell better that it's like, hey, it was.
All I know is I was enchanted to meet you.
Give me the emotion, Taylor.
This is me praying that this was the very first page, not where the storyline ends. My thoughts will echo your name until I see you again. I was enchanted to meet you. Please don't be in love with someone.
There's something I missed from the original, guys. There's something I missed from the original. When she's saying, I was enchanted to meet you, and she holds out that you as the please don't be in love with someone else starts up, you can hear her hold out the you in the original and then take like a breath at the end of it. And we don't have the breath here anymore. It's okay. It's okay. I'll get over it. This song just makes me want to be a conductor. I mean, like, simply just one of the greatest songs ever written, truly. The most magical song I have ever witnessed in my lifetime. Next up is Better Than Revenge. This song has had quite the conversation surrounding it because we're all very aware that the message of the song is quite misogynistic in hindsight, and it's something that we've all grown up to realize, Taylor herself included. It's something that, you know, the message itself is something that we don't stand for anymore, just because it's slut-shamey, honestly, and it's like blaming the women for the guy's actions here, and it's just, you know, the message is messy. It's messy. At the same time, it's a bop. So everyone's like, oh no, what is she going to do for this song? Because it's not something that she's performed in a very long time. It's not a message that she or we stand by anymore, but it's like a beloved song by her fans because it's just so much fun. So there's been conversations happening about people considering whether she's going to change the lyrics of this song in order to change the message. There was also even talks about it not even being on the re-record, but clearly it is. And I'm really hoping that there's not any lyric changes. I think we all know, we've grown out of the message, but this is what she was feeling at the time. And she wrote a bop, and you gotta stick. I think you gotta stick with the original lyrics. I do. So let's see what she's done with it. I think my guess is that she has stuck with the original lyrics, but then I saw somewhere that's like 3 seconds longer, which let's just see what she's done with it.
Now go stand in the corner and think about what you did.
Okay. I'm like, don't even want to look at the lyrics because I'm scared.
The story starts when it was hot and it was summer, and I had it all. I had him right there where I wanted him. She came along, got him alone, and let's hear the applause. She took him faster than you could say sabotage. I never saw it coming, wouldn't have suspected her. She's not a saint, and she's not what you think. She's an actress, well, he was a moth to the flame. She was holding the matches.
Oh, wow. She changed that. She changed a lyric. I did not think she was going to, but if there's a lyric to change, it's definitely going to be that one. It was originally, she's better known for the things that she does on the mattress, which is like the slut-shaming line of the song. And she's changed it. I can't believe he was a moth to the flame. She was holding the matches. Okay. Interesting. So it's like, it's not exactly her trying to paint the girl in like a, actually, it wasn't her fault type of light. Like there's still a lot of like revenge over the girl stealing, especially I can see the next lyric is soon she's going to find stealing other people's toys on the playground won't make you any friends, which is like also kind of, it's problematic lyric because, you don't own people. Like he's not your toy to be stolen. And that specific lyric, her changing it is interesting. So now it's more saying like he couldn't resist her and her matches that she was striking in order to lure him in. So it's still like, it's not like a silly turnaround of like trying to paint the woman in like a positive light either, but it is changing the more problematic lyric of the original, which is something that I'll have to get used to. It is something I'll have to get used to.
Soon she's gonna find stealing other people's toys on the playground won't make you many friends. She should keep in mind, there is nothing I do better.
Now I'm like, oh God, if she changed that lyric, is that going to be the only one or is there going to be others? I think that's going to be the only one.
She looks at life like it's a party and she's on the list. She looks at me like I'm a trend and she's so over it.
Ooh, I like that. She changed that a little.
Troubling, and she thinks I'm psycho cause I like to rhyme her name with things. But sophistication isn't what you wear or who you know. They didn't teach you that in prep school, so it's up to me.
Ooh, she changed that so much. In the original, she's like, oh, they didn't teach you that in prep school, so it's up to me. But now she takes out the O completely. Like the way that she delivers this line is so different.
They didn't teach you that in prep school, so it's up to me.
In prep school, so it's up to me. That's fun.
He was a moth to the flame. She was holding the matches.
Okay.
She's not a saint and she's not what you think. She's an actress. Do you still feel like you know what you're doing? I don't think you do. I don't think you do.
I love the end of this song.
How much better you are.
It's so much better, yeah.
Deserve some applause.
Okay, cool. I think it's still a fun song. I still love it. It's fun, and I don't blame her for changing that one lyric. I think a lot of people were upset with her changing the entire message of the song. And I think that the lyric change that she chose and what she changed it to is fine by me. It's cool. So yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy with Taylor's version. Next up is Innocent. Do we skip it? Innocent's about a certain someone that's not so innocent, are they?
It's alright, just wait and see. Your string of lights is still bright to me. Oh, who you are is not where you've been. You're still an innocent.
You know what? I really love the melody that's in this chorus. I just don't listen to the song because I don't. It doesn't hold up for me.
Today is never too late to be brand new. It's never too late to get it back.
Except for when it is. All right, next! Haunted, another popular Stan song. I love Haunted, and I'm so excited and scared. This is another one where I'm like scared to hear the new version because I love the OG so much, but here we go. If I feel like being a conductor in Enchanted, Haunted is a whole new level. I love the vampire-esque element. I saw a TikTok of someone saying that this song was originally maybe supposed to be on the soundtrack of New Moon. And I don't know if that's true at all or not, but if it was, like this story that's being told in this song fits so well with Bella and Edward and Jacob. Oh my God, it's been so long. I had to really think about their names. About that love triangle and what's going on in New Moon. So if you're like a Twilight girly, think about that.
You and I walk a fragile line. I have known it all this time, but I never thought I'd live to see it break. And something's made your eyes go cold. Come on, don't leave me like this. I thought I had you figured out. Can't breathe whenever you're gone. Can't turn back now. I'm haunted.
It's so good. It's so good. Like the melody, the vocals, the bum bum bum, the strings.
And he just might make me smile, but the whole time I'm wishing he was you instead.
I love that instead.
I thought I had you figured out. Can't breathe whenever you're gone. Can't turn back. Now I'm haunted. You're not gone. You can't be gone. No. Come on, don't leave me like this. I thought I had you.
It's so good. It's so good. I'm gonna cry just because of how good this is. Like the strip back here and her vocals sound amazing, and the little like vocal fry at the top. I thought I can't do it. I cannot do it. Let me hear this again.
Come on, don't leave me like this. I thought I had you figured out. Something's gone terribly wrong, won't finish what you started. I thought I had you
The way she's singing it.
Can't breathe when
Ugh.
you're gone. I can't go back. I'm haunted.
How did she make this song even better? I don't know, but she did.
Never ever thought I'd see it break. Never thought I'd see it.
Oh my God. Incredible masterpiece, inspiring, everything. We only have 2 songs left of the original track list, so then we have the 2 bonus songs, and then we're getting into the full tracks. All right, Last Kiss. Here we go. This is one where I don't listen to it that much, but for some reason, like, I know the bridge like the back of my hand because it's just one of those bridges.
I still remember the look on your face, lit through the darkness at 1:58. The words that you whispered.
Do you know what I just fathomed about those first couple of lyrics? I still remember the look on your face, lit through the darkness at 1:58, tells me, oh my gosh, like it's dark, so like why can you see his face? But it says lit through the darkness at 1:58. Makes me think of like the alarm clock, maybe digital, like has a light to it and it says 1:58, and the light of 1:58 is beaming onto his face so that you can see his face. Am I just a little slow on realizing that? I love these little instrumental breaks. It's so beautiful, this song is.
All that I know is I don't know how to be something you miss. I never thought
concept of this song is so good.
And I'd roll my eyes and then you pull me in. I'm not much for dancing, but for you I did, because I love your handshake. Meeting my father, and I'll go sit on the floor wearing your clothes.
I think I'm just... This song is just sinking into me for the first time right now. I'm having a moment. Here comes the bridge, here comes the bridge.
So I watch your life in pictures like I used to watch you sleep, and I feel you forget me like I used
So sad.
to feel you breathe. And I hope the sun shines and it's a beautiful day, and something reminds you you wish you had stayed. You can plan
This
for
lyric.
a change in the weather and time, but I never planned on you changing your mind. Forever the name on my list,
A little sprinkle of fairy dust in the back.
just like our last.
Like, I know she doesn't write bad songs ever, but like, I just am now realizing how good this song is. And do you know what? I think it's just the concept of it all. Like, usually you go, I never thought we'd break up. No, I never thought we'd have a last kiss. It's different. It's like, you know what this reminds me of? Like, what she's singing about here. It's different, but it reminds me of you never plan on your child growing up. And I read somewhere when I was like 21, I read somewhere that like one day you as a parent put your child back down after picking them up, and you never pick them up again. And like you don't really realize that was the last time. And so my mom, when I was like 22, she was like, come here. And she picked me up. And then she, put me back down. She's like, okay, now I'll remember the last time I picked you up and put you back down. But like, this is the same concept where it's like, you don't take into account what could be the last kiss too. Like, it's like she was reflecting on the relationship, saying, wow, I never thought we'd have a last kiss. And it makes me wonder if like she remembers the last kiss, because I wonder how many relationships come to an end and you just don't even remember the last kiss, and you never thought it'd end like that, with not even being able to remember such a pivotal moment. So we are going to move on to Long Live, and I am going to try not to cry. I'm not ready.
I said, remember this moment.
I'm going to start crying already.
In the back of my mind, the crowds in stands went wild.
Wild. I like the way she's saying that.
It was the end of a decade, but the start of an age.
Which is so crazy, because like when she was singing this, obviously the decade she was talking about ending was 2010 and entering the 2010s, and how that was a start of an age for her, like a new chapter for her after being so successful and winning the Grammy and getting Album of the Year and everything, and really making it with the critics. And then the end of a decade, start of an age also represents like from 2019 to 2020, like the 2020s has been the revitalization of Taylor Swift and her reclaiming who she is and reclaiming her success and proving that you can still do this, and being at literally the height of her career. This song just aged beautifully.
Long live the walls we crashed through, how the kingdom lights shine just for me and you. One day we will be remembered. You traded your baseball cap for a crown.
Scream it.
When they gave us our trophies and we held them up for our town. And the cynics were outraged, screaming, this is absurd.
I love the background of her screaming it.
Band of thieves in ripped up jeans got to rule the world. Long live the wall and bring on all the pretenders. I'm not
I love how she opens up her voice there.
Promise me this,
Oh, the parasocial relationship is hitting hard right now.
Forever. But if God forbid fate should step in when they point to the pictures, please tell them my name. Long live the walls we crashed through. I had the time of my life with you. Long live.
Oh, the tears have fallen. We will be remembered. You know, like vocally and production wise, she stayed like that was another one that stayed faithful to the OG, but the song just makes me emotional in general because of how it's aged and where we're at now, and it is what it is, okay? It's a great song. Now we're going to move on to the bonus tracks of Speak Now, which are Ours and Superman. Ours, I always thought was like a cute little bop. It was never my favorite. And Superman, I never really listened to or was aware of for a long time. And then I heard it just recently, like bits of it just recently, and I was like, wait, this is kind of an incredible song. So I'm excited to hopefully let Superman fully sink into me. But first, let's listen to the cute little bop that's Ours.
You were here, we laugh about their vacant stares, but right now, my time is theirs. So don't you worry your pretty little mind. People throw rocks at things that shine, and life makes love look hard.
That's such an incredible lyric. Life makes love look hard. You're not telling me a 20-year-old wrote that. What?
'Cause I love the gap between your teeth, and I love the riddles that you speak. Any snide remarks from my father about your tattoos will be ignored, 'cause my heart is yours.
The little giggle.
The water's rough, but this love is ours.
It's actually such a cute song. Like, it is. And I can acknowledge that. Ours is cute. Ours is fun. Superman. I'm excited to listen to Superman. This is another one where I don't think I've listened to it all the way through, but I think I need to add this Superman. If I remember the snippets of the song I've heard correctly, this is one that I need to allow into my life. It's giving like, I mean, this whole album in a sense is giving like romantic comedy soundtrack, but this one in particular does that vibe for me.
Puts papers in his briefcase and drives away to save the world or go to work. It's the same thing to me. He's got his
It's like crazy how much of a pedestal this man was on for her. It's
He knows how much that I miss him. I hang on every word you say.
Case in point.
I'll be right here on the ground when you come back down.
like the thought of like being able to fly with him is just over her head at this point, and it's like, I get it, it's just a cute little bop, but I'm like, oh girl, you can be Superwoman too.
Something in his deep brown eyes has me seeing he's not bad like his reputation, and I can't hear one single word they say. I love you from the very first day.
I love that melody.
Superman, fly away, and I watch you fly around the world, and I hope you don't save some other girl.
The insecurities.
Don't forget about me. Don't forget where I'll be.
Such a good bridge, but also so sad.
The flowers were from you. Wishing the card was from you.
You guys, we haven't made it to the vault tracks. But before we get into the vault tracks, I want to do that little ranking idea that I had where I'm going to put all of these first 16 songs that we've listened to, all of the re-records, into a category. And I'm going to be as honest as I can about whether I preferred the original, whether it matches the original for me, or whether it exceeds the original. So let me put up my rankings based on this first listen here. So that is where I'm at. Of course, that's probably going to move around as I listen to them more and more. Now that we have completed that section of the reaction, it is time to move into these vault tracks, and I'm so curious about them because I have no idea what to expect. Like I'm always so curious. I wish we got like information from her or behind this. Please be making a re-records documentary because I'm so curious about why these different songs ended up getting cut. Maybe it's something simple like the other songs we thought were better and this one just didn't make it at the time. Or I wonder if there was ever a moment where she really wanted a song to be put on the album, but her management or her team or whatever were like, no, this doesn't fit, despite her wishes. And those are the songs that are more interesting to me. So yeah, let's see what these songs are all about. Our first one, oh God, is Electric Touch featuring Fall Out Boy. What in the world is this going to sound like? We had like Brendan Urie on a song, who's obviously from Panic at the Disco. He's more of like a rocker guy. And the song that they did together was not rock. And so I'm like, I don't know, even though it's Fall Out Boy, I don't know what to expect. Although this album does explore more like pop rock elements. So I'm kind of hoping for a pop rock vibe. Let's go. Let's see. Heavy drums, a little bit of guitar. It's matching the vibe of Speak Now perfectly already.
Just breathe, just relax, it'll be okay. Just an hour till your car's in the driveway. Just the first time ever hanging out with you tonight.
Woohoo! This is exciting. Okay, you guys, now that we're getting into like proper reaction territory with me, I like to pause and sink in with the lyrics as the song goes on. So just a warning, that's what's going to be happening here because this is new to me. Just breathe, just relax, it'll be okay. Just an hour till your car's in the driveway. Just the first time ever hanging out with you tonight. Like, I love that so much. So we're already painting a picture. This is a first date of sorts, or she says hanging out. So like maybe they're like still feeling it out of what this is going to be between them. I love her play on the word just, like just breathe, just an hour, like just the first time ever. Like you can feel the anxiety in the lyrics of like how big of a deal this is to her, but she's like, don't worry, it's just the fact that I might be meeting the love of my life and it's no big deal. I love that.
I've got my money on things going badly.
Ooh.
Got a history of stories ending sadly. Still hoping that the fire won't burn me just one time.
Oh.
This could either break my heart or bring it back to life. Got a feeling your electric touch could fill this ghost town up with light.
Is this a John Mayer song? Is this another John Mayer song? Because it could bring this ghost town, could fill this ghost town up with life. She sings about, and Dear John, over your sad, empty town. So like, kind of like similar vibe to a ghost town.
And I want you now, wanna need you forever, in the heat of your electric touch.
Ooh, spicy.
I've grown accustomed to sleeping alone. Still I know that all it takes is to get it right
Just one time. I love that. I love that.
Just one time. I was thinking just one time. Maybe the stars align, and maybe I call you mine, and you won't need space, but string me along while you decide. And just one time. 8:05, and I see two headlights.
She's building tension like like she always does. And I don't know what it is about the Speak Now album, but the tension building in it and the storytelling in it is just perfect. And this song is doing exactly that. And I feel the anxiety of like waiting and hoping and anticipating this moment and finding out whether this is going to be the one time that it actually is worth it. And now it's 8:05 and I see 2 headlights. I'm like, okay, that was the bridge, but does that mean the story's going to end there? Are we just going to repeat the chorus and we're not going to know if the electric touch was enough? I mean, based on what was happening, you know, obviously we know that things don't, whoever this is just singing about things don't end great, because they're clearly, you know, it didn't last. But I just am very curious about how the story of the song is going to close itself out. Ooh, she's still going. Oh, it's slowing down a little. I like that. You guys, that was so perfectly Speak Now. I'm surprised. It feels like it doesn't feel like a Speak Now track, but it feels like it would have been a Speak Now bonus track back in the day. I think Fall Out Boy being included on the song worked great. I don't think it like made it so much better or brought it down. I think it just fit the song. And I hate that she left me hanging like that. What? I have to wait and like, but that's the point of the song is like she's left hanging wondering what is going to become of this. Like if it's just an electric touch that's going to burn bright and fizzle out, or if it's an electric touch she's going to stay warm in for a long time. And I think it's a fun concept for a song. It's cute. Next up is the song that I claimed called When Emma Falls in Love. I'm very curious about this one. I wonder if it's going to be like a reference to Emma, the fictional character from Jane Austen, or if it's going to be Emma Stone. There's like theories that it's about Emma Stone because they were good friends during this era. Or if it's just like a random name and it's just, you know, storytelling. Piano. There's very little... Is there any piano on Speak Now?
When Emma falls in love, she paces the floor, closes the blinds and locks the door.
So she's scared of it.
When Emma falls in love, she calls up her mom, jokes about the ways that this one could go wrong.
Oh man. Oh man, this is so, has she ever sung about this type of love, or this type of reaction to love, I guess I should say, where it's too scary for someone to handle? That's what this seems like. And I like that she says jokes about the ways this one could go wrong, but it's really not a joke at the heart of it, I feel.
When Emma falls in love, I know that boy will never be the same.
Oh.
She's the kind of book that you can't put down. Like if Cleopatra grew up in a small town. And to tell you the truth, sometimes I wish I was love.
Imagine these lyrics being written about you. I would simply pass away and be happy with that. She always thinks it's gonna rain, but I know the boy will never be the same. She's the kind of book that you can't put down. That's a cute little lyric. But this, like if Cleopatra grew up in a small town, like she's too big and bright for such a small town. She would light it all up. Like she is, I can't even describe what that lyric conveys because just the lyric itself is too much to handle. And sometimes I wish I was her. A little bit of vulnerability on her end. And it's cute because it's not like she's jealous of her. And it seems like she almost, and by saying, and to tell you the truth, sometimes I wish I was her, it's like she's almost hesitant to admit it because she knows it's not right to think this way. But it's just a little bit of her own vulnerability she's injecting into it by saying, you know, sometimes I wish I was her.
When she's alone, she takes on the pain and bears it on her own.
I feel like there's a lot of Emmas in this world. I can relate to this Emma. Not in the romanticized sense, but in the sad ways. We started this song off with piano, did we not?
She won't lose herself in love the way that I did.
Don't.
'Cause she'll call you out. She'll put you in your place. When Emma falls in love, I'm
That's so cute.
Yeah, between me and you, sometimes I wish I was her.
I'm so curious to hear the theories about this song because I don't know a lot about, like, I can't tell based on this song what theory is correct, if any theory is correct, but if this is about Emma Stone or just like a real Emma in her life or a real person in her life that she's deciding to call Emma. I love specifically here, where is it? She won't lose herself in love the way that I did because she'll call you out. She'll put you in your place. And when Emma falls in love, I'm learning. It's like she just makes Emma sound so magical in a real sense. Like she does, it's not in a Superman type of way where she's talking about this person and they seem so out of touch and unbelievable and great. This song like paints the picture of a real human being and how she's learning from their strengths and weaknesses. And I think that's a really beautiful thing to write about. And I've not quite seen that done in a song before. So this is cute. I really enjoyed this one. Next up is I Can See You, which could be a creepy one. I don't know what to expect from this one. I Can See You. It's giving like I'm driving past your house. Or it's giving like I can see who you really are, you know, which is also likely. Okay, let's see. This is a very different sound. What is this?
You brush past me in the hallway and you don't think I can see it, do you? I've been watching you for ages and I spend my time trying not to feel it. But what would you do if I went to touch you now? What would you do if they never found us out? What would you do if we never made up?
What in the world is this song and why it's the greatest thing I've ever heard in my life? Are you kidding? You brush past me in the hallway and you don't think I can see you, do you? I've been watching you for ages. It is stalker. We're in stalker mode. I've been watching you for ages and I spend my time trying not to feel it. But what would you do if I want to touch you now? So she's like got her sights set on a boy and maybe he doesn't realize that she's into him, but she is very into him and she's like, what if we went for this? What if I made a move on you? What would happen? And it's not even the lyrics for me in this one. It's the production and it's the vocal delivery and the melody and like, oh, I don't know. How do you describe this type of feel? It's pretty sensual. It feels sensual and cool. I don't know. Cool is like a really vague word, but it feels cool. Do you get it? Do you get it? Ooh. Taylor! I can see you waiting down the hall from me, and I could see you up against the wall with me. Stop. She's just looking at this man at the end of the hall and imagining him up against a wall with her.
And we kept everything professional.
I love that happened in the beginning where it like strips back completely. It's just her voice, and then the drum beat comes back in. Okay, sorry, I'm starting over. This one's so good.
We kept everything professional, but something's changed. It's something I like. We keep watch.
Like, why is this everything about this song amazing?
It's something I like. So it's best that we move fast and keep quiet. You won't believe half the things I see inside my head.
What do you see, Taylor?
Wait till you see half the things that haven't happened yet.
This song is spicy. The song is spicy, and I feel like the world wasn't ready for Taylor to be spicy in her Speak Now era. You won't believe half the things I see inside my head. Wait till you see half the things that haven't happened yet. She's like, it's happening in my head and it's gonna happen in real life. You just wait. Like, you know what this reminds me of is a line in Sparks Fly where she goes, you touch me once and it's really something. You find I'm even better than you imagined I could be. Like, she has such a confidence in herself when it comes to that. Like, just wait till you can see what I can do. Like, I love that. It's so fun.
I went to touch you now, what would you do if they never
And it has that forbidden romance element to it as well, which is so fun. Where is this bridge gonna take us? Am I ready? I have to be. Okay.
Then we kiss and you know I won't ever tell. And I could see you being my addiction. You can see me as a secret mission. Hide away and I will stop behaving myself. I see you, baby, oh baby.
Oh, my cheeks hurt from smiling so much. That was great. Loved it. Top tier. Incredible. Fantastic. The world would have died if they heard her sing that song in, what, 2010? Yeah, 2010. The world was not ready for that song in 2010. It's so funny to me that she's singing about like all of these spicy things, but it's in this like pretty production and vocals, which is like, I can see you. It sounds so pretty and innocent, but it's not. And I see you, Taylor. I can see you. Next up is Castles Crumbling with Hayley Williams of Paramore. I'm excited about this one. I think their voices are going to sound so good together.
Once I had an empire in a golden age. I was held up so high. I used to be great. They used to cheer when they saw my face. Now I fear I have fallen from grace.
What? Why do you think that? You're just baby Taylor in this era. What? She's already thinking this at that time?
You don't want to know me. I will just let you down.
Oh no.
They trusted me. The faith was strong, but I pushed it too far. I held that grudge till it tore me apart. Falling down like promises that I never kept. And I will just let you down.
That's beautiful.
Friends watch my reign, and I don't know how it could have ended this way. Now they're screaming that they hate me. Never wanted you to hate me.
Ooh.
My castle's crumbling down, and
Or the breathiness of the hate me. Sounds like she was about to cry.
my castle's crumbling down. You don't wanna know me now.
This part is so pretty. I can't tell. There was like something being whispered at the end there, and it's not in the lyrics, and I can't tell. The only thing that I can. So this reminds me of Long Live in the sense that Long Live is. There's a line called We're the Kings and the Queens. You traded your baseball cap for a crown, and it's all about like winning and being on top of the world and that feeling that she made it. And then this one, it's like counteracts that, and it's talking about the empire that she created burning to the ground, which I don't think happened during that era. So I'm wondering, like, is this a song she wrote about like a fear of what might happen in the future? That one day, like her being aware that they built this castle and they won, and how she's like, one day it might all come crumbling down, and it was maybe one of her biggest fears, and that's where this song came from, her insecurities of what could be. That's the only thing, because I don't know what else would prompt her to write a song like this at that time. And it's so sad. Like, if something happened that I'm totally missing, and this is about something that really occurred, I just have no idea. But if it is like her exploring like the insecurity and her possible downfall that she thinks is inevitable in the future, that's a really, really sad thing for a 20-year-old to be writing about and comprehending. Loved Haley. The only thing I would say about this one is I loved that Haley got her verse, but I wish I could have heard like their vocals meshed together more, because I think that they would sound really cool. Maybe I missed it and they did sing together and it was just really subtle, but yeah, that's the only thing that I would say as far as it being a feature. Next up is Foolish One, which I'm so curious. I feel like it's got to be either she's calling someone out for being the foolish one, or she's looking at herself and calling herself the foolish one. I hope she's not calling herself the foolish one, because she's so young at this point. Like, girl, you're just grown up. Okay, Foolish One.
My cards are on the table, yours are in your hand. Chances are tonight you've already got plans.
Already so good. Her cards are on the table. She's open. She's flexible to the situation, but yours are in your hand, and chances are you've already got plans. Like, he already is making a decision. When she's open to figure this out together, he is saying, no, I've got my hand ready. Oh, jeez.
And chances are I will talk myself to sleep again. You give me just enough attention to keep my hopes too high. Wishful thoughts forget to mention when something's really not right. And I will block out these voices of reason in my head.
Yep.
You are not the exception. You will never learn your lesson. Foolish one, stop checking your mailbox for confessions of love that ain't never gonna come.
It's so sad. Like, you can see even in her love songs about this relationship that she was in, that she was in denial about what was really going on, because she was just so hopeful. And she says it perfect, these wishful thoughts. Wishful thoughts forget to mention when something's really not right. Of course, like, you have rose-tinted glasses on. And the voices, it's so interesting to hear her admit that these voices were in the back of her head saying, you're not the exception. You'll never learn your lesson. Like, she's at war with herself in her head about this, but she's just choosing to be in denial and hope for the best. Now she's calling herself the foolish one for choosing to do that, which it's not foolish. It's just what you do when you're young and you think you're in love.
Don't know what to call this situation, but I know I can't call you mine. And it's delicate, but I will do my best to seem bulletproof.
She thinks that she needs to do her best to seem bulletproof for this person. Like, she can handle it. You're 19.
Now I'm sliding down the wall with my head in my hands, saying, how can I not see this sign?
You did, but
You haven't written me or called, but goodbye screaming in the silence, and the voices in my head are telling me why.
face it. You just gotta face it.
'Cause you got her on your arm and me in the wings. I'll get your longing glances, but she'll get your ring. And you will say you had the best of intentions.
Right? I'm sure. A little la la las. No, the la la las makes so much sense for this song, because she's talking about like wishful thinking and being in denial, and then having to come to terms with the fact that she feels foolish for being in denial, and just wearing those rose-tinted glasses that I mentioned. And the la 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 is just, it makes sense, because it's like you have all these dark thoughts in your head about what he's up to and how he really feels about you and what he's really doing here, but you're just sitting there like la 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 la, like choosing to ignore it.
Foolish one, sitting round waiting for confessions of love. They ain't never gonna
Her
come.
changing the way she's singing it.
He's the one you should have been walking
I love that ending. The day is going to come for your confessions of love when all is said and done. He just wasn't the one. It's like, it's letting us know how badly she just wanted to be in love. Like she just wanted to confess her love and get love confessed to her. That's all she wanted. And she was willing to create this narrative in her head that would allow her to put those expectations and hopes onto anyone that would pay attention to her, even if they weren't the one, and even if they only paid just enough attention to her. Like she just let people walk all over her because she was so hopeful and just so badly wanted that love story. And he wasn't the one. No, he was not. Our final vault track is Timeless. It's giving Enchanted vibes, just like the word timeless. If you name a song Timeless, it's got to have a timeless element to its production, right? Let's see what this one is. Classic. Starting off with the guitar.
On the counter was a cardboard box and the sign said photos 25 cents each. Black and white, saw a 30s bride and two lovers laughing on the porch of their first house.
Aww.
The kind of love that you only find once in a lifetime, the kind you don't put down. In those photos I saw us instead.
Oh, girl.
Even if we'd met on a crowded street in 1944 and you were headed off to fight in the war, you still would have been mine. We would have been timeless.
Oh, do you know what it's kind of giving? It's giving younger and more fairy tale version of Style. Like We'll Never Go Out of Style.
'Cause I believe that we were supposed to find this. So even in a different life, you still would have been mine. We would have been timeless.
She's such a sucker for fate, and I love it. This album is like it's very fateful. Like the love that she thinks about is all of because of fate.
Which brought me back to the first time I saw you. Time stood still like something in this old shop. I thought about it as I started looking round at these precious things that time forgot.
Oh, that time forgot.
Story of a romance torn apart by fate.
Fate. What was I saying?
If I first saw your face in the 1500s off in a foreign land, and I was forced to marry another man, you still would have been mine. We would have been timeless.
This song is so good. This song does feel timeless. It's like it's a big thing to try to do, to call something timeless and make the song timeless, but it does feel that way. It's so beautiful.
Time breaks down your mind and body. Don't you let it touch your soul. In a crowded room a few short years ago, and sometimes there's no proof, you just know you're always gonna be mine. We're gonna be. Then you'll say, oh my, we really were timeless. We're gonna be timeless.
It's giving wedding dance.
Down the block there's an antique shop, and something in my head said stop, so I walked in.
Like the only thing I have for that song, the only word I have for that song is beautiful. It's beautiful. It's a perfect little way to end this album as well. And I feel like this album is such a for the fans album, and it was for herself too. Like it was self-written, all by her. And Long Live is such like a for the fans closer. And Timeless honestly feels like a perfect album closer in regards to the fans too, even though it veers on in a more like metaphorical way. It veers on the story of romantic love, but I can 100% see this like working as a fan song as well, and how our connection is timeless, whether it's now or then. And I love the concept of that. So This was so fun. This was so fun. I always am so excited to get new Taylor music. And you know, whenever I listen to new Taylor music, I'm almost always like depressed because I'm like, this is so great right now, but I don't know when I'm going to get new music again. It's like a bittersweet moment for the day to finally be here to get to listen to it. Based on my first listen, this is how I would rank the vault tracks for me personally. I would love to hear what you guys have to say about the re-records. If you caught, I mean, there's so many of you guys out there who have different songs and have listened to different songs a million times. So like getting to hear the re-record for certain songs is a different experience for everyone who maybe can catch some things that others can't. And so if you are one of those people and you caught something, please let me know what you caught. Let me know if you have like certain songs that you prefer so much more now, or if there's some things you do miss about the OG, that's okay. So that's that. Also, let me know all of your theories, please, on the vault tracks. We have like to go into Swiftie mode. The Swiftie community needs to come together, and I'm so curious to see what your guys' interpretations of those songs are, because so many of you have such like amazing ideas. Like all of like half of the Swiftie knowledge I have is because of what I get from more than half. Like 80% of the Swiftie knowledge I have is what I've put together thanks to other Swifties and what I've seen on social media. Let me know your interpretations of the vault tracks. Let me know how you would rank them. Of course, my reactions to the re-records were more laid back and fun, and I didn't do like a proper breakdown like I have in other reactions. For example, with Lana, where I do like lyrical breakdowns. If you would like for me to do a separate video and go through Taylor's discography and do like lyric breakdowns of what I've found based on my personal listens, I can definitely do that. If there's other albums you would like me to react to, please do let me know. Next on my list is Ultraviolence by Lana Del Rey. But before I even think about that, I'm going to go and listen to Speak Now TV on repeat. And hopefully you guys are doing the same. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you guys next time.